54,000 new jobs have come to Nevada since President Trump has been in office. Dean Heller is a fighter. He works for Nevadans, and having the president come in today is going to be a big boost to his campaign.
President Trump heading to Vegas later today. Republicans fighting to hold control of Congress in the midterms. It's a real good race in Vegas. Time for the A-Team now. Charlie Hurt, opinion editor, Washington Times, Fox News contributor. Marie Harf, former State Department spokeswoman, Fox News analyst and co-host of Benson and Harf. And Brian Brenberg, chair of the program in business and finance at King's College here in New York City. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
That's an A-Team. Hello.
49 days away. How you feeling about it, sir?
I think, Republicans should be running scared right now, I think. There's a lot of enthusiasm on the Democratic side. I think that the Republicans have a very good argument to make. They can look at the economy. They can, they have every good reason to run smart campaigns and win, but they better be running scared.
You got a nod from Marie on that.
I agree. Look, all of the historical data says that the party in power should be scared, and then everything we've seen about this election specifically shows Democrats are outraising Republicans in these districts. We need to take the House. The polling continues to grow. The Democrats are enthusiastic. We've seen a lot of evidence Republicans are not. And I think the House is definitely looking better than the Senate. I would put pretty good odds on Democrats taking the House. But on the Senate side, you're now seeing competitive races in places like Tennessee, Texas, that Republicans may hold on to, but they're going to have to spend money more places than they wanted to.
So, Brian, the president's heading to Las Vegas to do what he does best, see if he can bring a little fire to the situation there. But he led off this morning with a tweet on the economy.
Of course
Clearly,
he
sees that as the
and it's a good news story in Nevada, by the way, as well. The unemployment rate continued to come down in August. We've seen job creation, wages increasing in Nevada. Nobody expected the economy to be this strong at this point. If you go back to the election of President Trump, nobody said we were going to be at 4% growth, below 4% unemployment at this point. That is a huge X factor, and I know it doesn't always get day-to-day headlines in the media, but at the Main Street level, money in your pockets matters more than probably anything else.
To take credit for that.
Well, what's been interesting, though, is while the economy has continued to grow, President Trump's approval rating continues to slide. So he has not reaped the benefit of the economy, at least in the polls. And what will be interesting is if Republicans running on the ballot are trying to tie themselves to President Trump, will he be able to have some coattails here when he's not on the ballot? He is at historically unpopular lows, and people want accountability. People want accountability in Washington, and they don't see that happening under Republican rule.
Two things. Real clear politics average in Nevada. Real tight race here. Jackie Rosen, 42.7, and Dean Heller's at 42.0. He won that seat by about a point in Nevada. It's real close. Meanwhile, Cory Booker on a 2020 run. Here it is, this quote. Of course, the presidency will be something I consider. It would be irresponsible not to. Who's not running?
Charlie's running, right?
Everybody's running. But I also think the Democrats, and Cory Booker is a prime example of this. I think that Democrats run a risk of hurting themselves when you have things like this Brett Kavanaugh hearing, where they really didn't do themselves any favors. They looked pretty ridiculous at times, and I think that that all of this, the latest stuff about Brett Kavanaugh, opens an opportunity for them to kind of continue. They obviously, their supporters hate Donald Trump. They hate everything about Donald Trump, and they get away with a lot by going after him on everything. But as long as President Trump remains and Republicans remain focused on the economy, and I think all of those antics actually hurt Democrats.
You mentioned Kavanaugh. Here's Lindsey Graham's tweet requiring an FBI investigation of a 36-year-old allegation without specific references to time or location. Wait for it. Here it comes. Without references to time or location before Professor Ford will appear before the Judiciary Committee is not about finding the truth, but delaying the process till after the midterm elections.
Don't you think this is how a lot of Americans see the issue? I mean, I don't think he's speaking anything that people can't understand. I think when you look at what's going on, people are looking at the issue and they're saying this is politically motivated. It's not about finding the truth. It's not about getting to the bottom of it. It's actually about delaying. And that when that's what people see, they get tired of it and they say, I'm not actually going to vote on the basis of this because I think it's all political.
If it is true, if you believe that they're delaying, what's the next arrow in that quiver? Is it come out to California, I'll talk to you privately, and I'll do it on I'll do it on Tuesday, then I'll bring the findings back to New York, and now you're looking at another week where it's postponed.
I think they don't know the next arrow in their quiver. That's been the story throughout this. It's been grasping. We saw this during the hearing. They were grasping at completely different things. This comes up. Now that's a grasp. They're looking for anything, and they'll latch onto it.
Real quick, before he moves on to topic 2, because I know, Charlie, you want to jump in there. President tweeting on border security. It's about the economy. It's about this as well. And he's calling on Republicans in this tweet. I want to know, where is the money for border security and the wall in this ridiculous spending bill? And where will it come from after the midterms? Dems are obstructing law enforcement and border security. Republicans must finally get tough.
But I think this is where you see some lack of enthusiasm among Republicans, is that Republicans in Congress have failed to Donald Trump won on a couple of key issues. There's no key issue more important for his victory than promising to secure the border. And the fact that Republicans have not been as ardently supportive of his efforts in that regard is why I think that they are facing some lack of enthusiasm.
Final topic. Mike Pompeo was on with Laura Ingraham last night and threw some daggers at John Kerry. John Kerry apparently reports about him getting back involved in the Iran nuclear deal. Here's what he said about Secretary Kerry's actions now.
Secretary Kerry can't seem to get off the stage. And you have to. When I'm the former secretary, I'll get off. Every previous former secretary has done that too. It's one thing to meet with your counterpart. It's another thing to do what Secretary Kerry, Wendy Sherman, Ernest Moniz, frankly, the whole gang has done, which is to actively seek to undermine what President Trump is trying to achieve.
How about that, Marie?
Well, I have so many thoughts.
Marie, Marie,
yes.
Is that the conclusion to the collusion that we've been searching for
How long did it take you to come up with that? You were waiting to use it.
It's Thursday.
Here's the truth. Secretary Kerry did meet with the Iranians, not secretly, and he encouraged them to stay in the Iran deal, to stay in compliance and not restart their nuclear program. Secretary Kerry briefed the State Department about those conversations openly. They had no problem with it when he briefed them. Every former Secretary of State, starting with Henry Kissinger to Condi Rice to Jim Baker, they do this kind of outreach. There's nothing unusual about it. There's nothing secret about it. So this is a political controversy because people want to be partisan about it. There's nothing untoward here. John Kerry told the State Department what he was doing, and the State Department didn't raise any.
Do you respect what he's doing when he talks about waiting this out, meaning the...
Well, you weren't in those meetings with Iran. That's how some people have described it. No, John Kerry has said, what I told the Iranians was, despite what the Trump administration does, you should stay in compliance with the Iran deal and not restart your nuclear program. I think we can all agree Iran not restarting their nuclear work is a good thing. I absolutely respect what John Kerry is doing. He's trying to prevent an Iranian nuclear weapon, and he told the State Department what he was doing. Mike Pompeo is playing to an audience of one here. That's Donald J. Trump.
So far, the sky has not fallen.
Anytime now. I'm waiting any minute for the sky to fall.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Charlie. Nice to see you all.
Thank you.